last 3 months. Is it so, sir? Great
Yes,
job
I
you are doing,
experienced
sir.
this in my family getting the infection.
या आप, मैंने आपके पिताजी ज्ञान जी जैन, वो भी शायद हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। ज्ञान जी जैन आपके फादर है, लीडिंग एडवोकेट है हाईकोर्ट के, और आपके दादाजी भी हाईकोर्ट में मतलब एडवोकेट थे। आप ऐसे एडवोकेट परिवार से आकर हमारे बीच डॉक्टर बन के हमारे बीच आए हैं। और ये जो क्रिटिकल सीजन चल रहा है अभी, कोविड-19, सभी घबराए हुए हैं, सबके पसंद मतलब सबके मन में कुछ कुछ डाउट है, क्या करना, कैसे होगा, फ्यूचर कैसे होगा, कोविड कैसे हम निपटेंगे। इसी जानकारी देने के लिए आज हमारे बीच डॉक्टर रौनक जी जैन आए हैं। बिजी शेड्यूल होते हुए भी 24 आवर्स इसी में लगे हुए हैं। आपको मालूम है स्टैनली हॉस्पिटल वन ऑफ द लीडिंग हॉस्पिटल है चेन्नई का, उसमें आप अपनी सेवाएं दे रहे हैं, अमूल्य सेवाएं। और जो आज हमारे बीच आए हैं, आपका हम तहे दिल से हार्दिक स्वागत अभिनंदन करते हैं। होप करते हैं आज हमारे जो टीचर, स्टूडेंट्स और जो भी हमारे मित्र इस वेबिनार में जुड़े हुए हैं, सबको अपनी जो शंका है, मन में जो डाउट है, वो आज क्लियर हो जाएगा आपके द्वारा। जो भी आप बताएंगे उसको हम सब फॉलो करेंगे तो अवश्य हम कोविड से बच सकते हैं। So once again, we welcome Dr. Ronak Jain, and also we welcome his father, Mr. Gyanji Jain. Also, he is with us in this Zoom meeting. Thank you very much, sir. And I request Mahavir ji to over to Mahavir ji, our admin. He is also secretary of primary school. He is admin of today's every our Zoom meeting. So I hand over to again Mahavir ji.
Thank you, Doctor, of joining. This is our pleasure to be here and educating our teachers, and a lot of outsiders also have joined, and our students are there. Everybody is so scared of this epidemic. इनको समझ में भी अब नहीं आ रहा है कि what is the how this is going to be end. And everybody is waiting to go to the schools back, and everybody is stuck in the home. I have also not come out of the home for last 40 days, and we don't know where it is going to happen and how it is going to end. So please educate us, and what we need to do, what we are supposed to do, how to find out you are infected, and in those cases how to manage yourself. So all the students and teachers, I request you, do not open your mic in between. Whatever the questions you have, you can type it out in the chat, and I will, on your behalf, I will put it to the doctor, and you will get your replies. Okay, so shall we start now? Thank you, doctor. Can we start the webinar now?
Yes, sir. Can you just focus on the big screen myself? Is that possible?
Yeah.
I have already given you the spotlight, doctor. You are already.
You are in the screen. You are on the screen,
okay,
sir.
So, namaste. Hello and good evening to everyone present over here. I am Dr. Ronak Jain G from Stanley Hospital, working as an internal medicine resident. I am here in collaboration with GK Schools to tell you everything that has to be known about COVID-19 for a common man. Has already discussed earlier that if you have any queries, please reserve it till the end, and I'll be happy to answer them. So first and foremost, most importantly, let's see how this COVID-19 spreads and how can you prevent it. Only when you know how this is spread, you'll be taking a conscious effort to preventing it. Okay, so mainly it spreads by two methods. That is, one, the first method is by touching contaminated objects. So for example, if an infected person who is a COVID positive person touches this fork, okay, touches this fork by after putting his hands in the nose or mouth or eyes, he touches this fork becomes contaminated. So when this fork is touched by a normal person like you or me, the virus comes onto your hands. And when you use these hands to touch your face, mainly the eyes, the nose and the mouth, you get the virus and you become infected. So what do you understand by this mode of transmission? So you understand that hand washing is so very important. This is why all the doctors focus on hand washing. So hand washing is a very important part. Some of my patients who are COVID positive, they come to me and tell me that they were washing hands properly only, but still they got COVID. And is it really effective? Then I asked them to show me how they are washing the hands. So what did they show me? They showed me like they're washing hands like this. So this is what they did, and this is not the proper way of washing hands. This will not be effective, and you'll be still vulnerable to get COVID-19 infection. So now I'm going to tell you how to wash hands properly so that you don't get COVID infection through this method. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to wash your hands, like run the tap, open the water, then apply adequate soap up till your wrist, okay, on all parts of your hand. And then what you have to do is gently interlace your fingers in between your web spaces, okay, in between your fingers first, and then your web spaces of one hand, and then the web spaces of the other hand, okay, and then the back of the fingers. The back of the fingers are so very susceptible because during our normal hand washing we really miss the back of the fingers like this, behind the nails. So we shouldn't miss this part because this is a very important part where we take food to the mouth, we keep these fingers into our mouth, and that is why it's so easily transmitted through our contaminated hands. So again, we have to wash the back of the fingers like this, okay, like this, other hand, and then the thumbs. The thumbs are important part, okay, and then the topmost part, and then rinse it with water, okay. This sequence takes about anywhere about 40 to 45 seconds if you do it properly, and none of the sequence should be missed because each and every part is so very important, and even if one part is missed, the risk of infection still remains. So that is why I'm constantly telling you, if you want to wash your hands, wash it properly, adequately, and take at least 40 to 45 seconds to wash all the areas of your hand. So that is about hand washing. Now many patients have asked me this doubt. Can we use sanitizers instead of washing your hands? Hand washing is always better, but if you have a sanitizer and if you're short on time, then what you can do is you apply the sanitizer on all, like fully adequately on your hand. Make sure no part is missed. And what you have to do is wait at least for 1 to 2 minutes to dry off the sanitizer. Don't do your works because we had many burns cases where patients have applied the sanitizer to the hand and they have turned on the gas stove. What the sanitizer contains alcohol, and alcohol is a inflammatory substance. So once you like comes in contact with fire, it will burn yourself. So always and always wait for 1 to 2 minutes to wash your hands properly, sanitize them properly, and wait for it to dry it off. So that is very important. Another thing, use a quality based sanitizer which contains at least 60% alcohol in it, okay. So this is about sanitizers. And then coming on to the second mode of transmission. The second mode of transmission is through coughing or sneezing, and sometimes even when a person talks. So this is why social distancing, the highlight of today's era, social distancing is so very important. So why social distancing is important? Because a person can spread the virus particles when he coughs, when he sneezes into the air. And so you should at least maintain a distance of 2 meters, okay? 2 meters ideally. If not, at least 1 meter should be there between yourself and the infected person or the suspect person or any stranger for that matter. You shouldn't come near more than 1 meter within the other person. That is why we advise you not to go to crowded places, okay? And that is the idea behind it. Because the virus particles cannot go beyond 2 meters. They cannot travel in the air beyond 2 meters. So that is why you should wear a mask. The other person also should wear a mask. Because if the other person is infected, if he coughs or sneezes, the virus particles will remain in the mask and will not go into the air. And that is why you will be protected. And if somehow the virus particles escape and travel to you, when you're wearing a mask, you'll be protected and the virus particles won't go in. So that is why wearing a mask of the infected and the other person is so very important. And that is why whenever you go out, please wear a mask. Now I can constantly see in my hospitals, the problem with mask is the patients keep touching the mask. Once they wear a mask, they'll keep touching the mask for no reason. Please don't do that, because you know that your hands can become infected easily by touching any contaminated object. And when you touch your mask, the mask also becomes contaminated and it can easily travel to your nose and mouth, where you can easily become infected. So please don't touch the mask unnecessarily. And one more thing we do is, like, I'll recommend a surgical triple layer mask instead of a cloth mask whenever it's possible. If you don't have a surgical triple layer mask, then you can use a cloth mask. The thing about surgical triple layer mask is it cannot be reused. It's only one time use. Many patients clean them with soap and water. Please don't do that. It is only a one time use. Surgical mask can be used only for one time, one day. It cannot be used for more than that. And cloth mask obviously can be reused. Please remove the cloth mask properly from here and make sure that you put them in the proper bin where you can wash them and not just throw it anywhere, because even other objects can be contaminated then. So this is about masks. So one more thing, when you're showing some symptoms like coughing or sneezing, and when you don't have a mask around, always remember, cough into your elbows. Okay, whenever there's a sore throat and you feel like coughing or you feel like sneezing, cough into your elbows or sneeze into your elbows, like that, so that you don't transmit to others. You don't transmit the infection to the others. That is very important. So be a responsible citizen, take up the responsibility and make sure you don't transmit your infection to the fellow citizens and help us controlling the infection. Okay, always cough and sneeze into your elbow so the virus particles don't travel into the air. So this is about how the infection is spread and how it is transmitted and how this can be prevented by simple methods such as social distancing of 2 meters, at least 1 meter, wearing masks, not going to crowded places, and hand washing, proper hand washing. Okay. So now coming on to the symptoms, how can you know when you have coronavirus? What are the symptoms? Many people ask me, tell me the symptoms. Well, tell me a specific symptom that if this is a symptom, this is coronavirus. No, there's no specific symptom. There's no specific symptom where if you have the symptom, you have coronavirus. There is no such specific symptom for COVID-19. So the common symptoms which people present to me with are headache, loss of sensation of taste and smell, dry cough, body pain, loose motions, nausea and vomiting. Okay, these are the common symptoms, but the most alarming symptom is breathing difficulty. Once you get breathing difficulty, make sure you go to the hospital and check yourself out. So breathing difficulty is a very alarming symptom. It's a warning sign that something is wrong with you. You might be having COVID-19 and it's really warranted to rule out COVID-19 when you have breathing difficulty. Always remember this. So I'm concentrating on breathing difficulty. Once you're having breathing difficulty, chest pain, fever of more than 1 or 2 degrees, or if you're sleeping throughout the day, it's better to check it with your doctor, and your doctor will tell you whether you need a COVID-19 test or not. So these are about the symptoms. Now coming to which group of people at a higher risk of getting COVID-19 or getting complications from COVID-19. So the high risk people, which we call it as, are the age group of more than 65 years. Age group of more than 65 years, patients with hypertension, patients with diabetes, patients with heart disease, kidney disease, lung diseases are at a higher risk of getting the infection and also developing complication from the infection. So it's better these person take extra precautions. Okay, they should take extra precautions in with necessary to COVID-19. They should not go out. They should be in as much as possible. They should hand wash properly. They should all take all proper measures to avoid themselves getting infected. Okay, so do that. And then what we have doing is, like, these people are on chronic medications. They are taking chronic medicines for their ailments. Many patients come to me with telling me that they have not taken medications because they are quarantined, they are at home, they're not going out, so they have missed their medications. They do not take that BP medications, they do not take the sugar medications, and then they land up in the hospital coming with all sorts of complications. So please take your medications properly. Please take your BP medications properly, sugar medications properly, and heart, lung disease, everything. Other medications should be taken on time. If you cannot go and get them, please tell someone to get it from you. But please don't skip any dose. It's very important to take all the medications for all the other diseases, because once you don't take your BP medications or your sugar medications, your BP will shoot, your sugars will increase, and this will increase your chances of getting coronavirus, because these medications, where these diseases were not under control, can reduce your immunity, can bring down your immunity, and can increase your chances of getting coronavirus and developing complications from it. You will get very serious. So please don't ignore your daily medications. That's one point. So the other thing, what is the incubation period? What do I mean by incubation period? So suppose you're in, many people and patients have this doubt. I met with a person, he turned out to be positive some days later. What should I do now, doctor? So they'll ask me this. So if the patient is confirmed positive, you can get infection, or you can start showing symptoms anytime between day 1 to day 14. Okay, so this is a time frame where you can show the symptoms. Average is around 5 days, but you can get it even in 1 day and up to 14 days. So if you have known that you have come in contact with a confirmed positive case of COVID-19, it's better to home quarantine yourself. Okay, home quarantine yourself for 14 days. You don't have to test, or you don't have to do anything, just home quarantine. and that is enough. After 14 days you can come out. So now your doctor has told you to take the COVID test and you have turned out to be positive. What should you do? That's very big query among all my patients. What should I do next? Go to your doctor or go to your family doctor, anyone who sees COVID patients. Check yourselves first. They'll check your vitals, they'll check your BP, they'll see your temperature. If it tells that you have to get admitted, then follow your doctor's advice and get yourself admitted. If you are stable enough, if nothing is wrong with you, then the doctor will give a letter stating that you can home isolate yourself for 14 days. Okay, because you'll be perfectly fine, you'll not be needing any admission, you can home isolate yourself. Now people will be afraid, what if something happens to me at home, or what if I'm not able to take care of myself, or what if I suddenly worsen. So they'll be very in doubt that I won't be able to take care of myself at home, and they'll be needing hospital admission. Please listen to your doctor. If hospital admission is not advised, please don't get yourselves admitted. You can also be managed at home. Now this comes the important part. I'll tell you what all you can do to manage yourselves at home. Okay, so the first things first is that you should have a thermometer. So thermometer, check your temperature every 8 hourly, thrice in a day. Okay, if the temperature is more than 1 or 2 degrees Fahrenheit, please go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Okay, the other thing is that, see, this is a pulse oximeter. So this is a very useful instrument. It's a very handy instrument used to check the oxygen content of your body. Okay, whenever you are feeling breathless or anything, or whenever you're diagnosed with corona that you're positive, always get this instrument and you can check yourselves at home whether your lungs are functioning properly, whether the oxygen in your body is adequate or not. So what you have to do is open the instrument, keep it on your index finger, and it will check your saturation. Okay, so first one will be your it contains 2 readings. One will be your pulse rate and one will be your saturation. So the bigger font is your saturation and the smaller font is your pulse rate. Pulse rate you need not know anything about. See, for saturation, it should be more than 99. It should be like between 95 to 100. Okay, 95 to 100 it should be. If any time your saturation, that is the bigger font, falls below 94, then it's a sign that you're not oxygenating properly, or your lungs, there's some problem with your lungs, or you're not, the oxygen is not reaching your blood. So anytime if the saturation falls below 94, you have to go immediately and see the doctor. So always check your saturation in your index finger of one hand, and also for confirming the values, you can check in your other hand also. In both the hands, if it is less than 94, please go see your doctor. So this is about thermometer, and this is an instrument called pulse oximeter. Okay, so this is a very handy instrument. So third thing, if you're having any sore throat, or you are not able to, like, if you have pricking sensation inside your throat, you can always like gargle with salt water. You can do it 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, night. Take some warm water, add salt to it, and gargle. So that will it will relieve your sensation of pricking, or it will relieve your cough also sometimes. So the next thing is you can if you have a loss of smell, loss of taste, or sometimes so these commonly seen now in COVID positive patients, loss of smell and taste. So if when you have this, you can inhale steam, or when you have a cold, steam inhalation is very good for your for these symptoms. So always inhale steam. That also you can do 3 times a day. That will help you in relieving your symptoms of cold, or if you're having any running nose, that will relieve yourself of such symptoms. So the next thing is prone position. What do I mean by prone position? Prone position is sleeping on your stomach. Okay, so while normally the lungs are narrow at the top and broad at the bottom. So inside the body, the lungs are narrow at the narrow at the top and broad at the bottom. So what you should do is when you sleep on your back, some of the lungs get squeezed and you'll not be able to oxygenate properly. So if you have any trouble breathing, if you're having increased cough, you can start sleeping on your stomach, so that your lungs open up and your oxygenation will get better. So do this like if when you're sleeping, 2 hours sleep on your stomach, 2 hours you can sleep on your right hand side, 2 hours you can sleep on your left hand side, and 2 hours you can sleep in a sitting position. Okay, avoid sleeping on your back if you're having any breathing difficulty, or you're having increased cough. Avoid sleeping on your back. Okay, by any under any situation, if you feel very uncomfortable sleeping on your stomach, please avoid doing it. Or if you have any other condition that prevents you from sleeping on your stomach, don't do it. Okay, if not, you can always sleep on your back and improve your oxygenation. So another thing, what are the exercises of the lung? How can I improve my lung function? Okay, so when you are infected with corona and you have become corona positive, your lungs are in a state of recovery. If you're feeling fine, then your lungs are in a state of recovery. How can you accelerate this recovery? So what I commonly tell my patients is to do this lung exercise. So take a glass or any bottle, fill them with 3/4 of water. Okay, so take a straw. I don't have a straw with me right now, so this, imagine this is a straw. Okay, put the straw filled with 3/4 of water, and then blow out, exhale into the straw. Okay, exhale into the straw, so that you exhale deeply, and then hold your breath for 2 seconds, and then inhale deeply. I'll demonstrate it to you. So what you have to do, first take a glass or any plastic bottle, fill with 3/4 of water, take a straw, put in the straw, and then hold for 2 seconds your breath and inhale. Hold for 2 seconds and inhale. So you can do this 3 times in a cycle, and you can do this 5 to 8 times a day. This is an exercise for your lungs, which can, if there's any fluid in your lungs, it will open up your lungs and it will improve your oxygenation too. So you can, this is a lung exercise, and this can be done with this thing also. And you can also use balloons. You can blow into a balloon, okay, and that will also give you similar results. But everyone will have straw and glass bottle in your homes, so that's why I've told you this. Also balloons can be used. Okay, so that is also there. So the thing about that is over. Okay, so now you have become positive. Many people ask me, till when should I continue my isolation? Till when should I not go outside my room? So generally, since the onset of your symptoms, since your symptoms first started, 14 days you should remain isolated, away from everyone, so that you don't transmit your infection to others. Generally, it's a 14-day rule. After 14 days, if you don't have any symptoms, you can come out of the isolation. So other normal doubts my patient asks me is that whether we can use AC while sleeping. Okay, avoid using air conditioner, because what happens when you turn on the AC, your throat becomes dried. The humidity decreases in the room and your throat becomes dry, and that can induce a cough, and then you'll start coughing when you wake up. So it's better to avoid air conditioner. And then next is whether you can take bath. Obviously you can take bath daily. You have to take bath and then dry yourself out completely. Wear good warm clothes and maintain body hygiene and hand hygiene. Make sure that when you're infected with corona, don't let the corona particles be on yourself. Take bath, let off the corona particles, let off the virus go off your body, and take good fresh refreshing bath. It will also refresh yourself, and also it's nothing bad to take a bath. So then next is what I should eat. You can eat everything healthy. Healthy food should be opted for during this time. And then days you can come out, and retesting is generally not needed in Tamil Nadu. It depends upon your state. It varies according to different states. Okay, so you have home isolated yourselves, and now you're in a fear. When should I go to the hospital again? So I've already told you about the warning signs. There are 4 warning signs. Temperature, thermometer reading above 102 degrees, oxygen saturation below 94%. Okay, if you're feeling very breathless even while talking, chest pain, and if you're feeling sleepy all along the day. So that these 4 are indications that you have to visit the hospital immediately and get yourselves checked. So always remember, these are the 4 warning signs. We call them warning signs. So always remember that. Can you hear me? Yeah, so these are called the warning signs. Next, coming on to a very important aspect which is missed by a lot of people: mental health. Okay, mental health is very important. Be stress free, don't take stress. I know media is hyping the coronavirus a lot. Many people are afraid. Many people are very afraid to go out. Many people are like, something happens to me, or if something happens. Okay, always remember mental health is very important. Your mental health is the gateway of your physical health. So be stress free, don't take a lot of tension. Many of my patients who don't have any symptoms come to me with increased BP, increased sugar levels. That is because of the stress. Stress can increase your BP. Okay, stress can increase your sugar levels, and by increasing all this, you are decreasing your immunity. You're increasing your recovery time. Recovery will take a longer time if you're stressed. Okay, and will have a higher chance of developing complications when you're stressed. So keep your mind totally free. Trust your doctors. Leave the tension to your doctors. They'll decide for you. They'll decide for you whether you'll be needing any admission or whether your health will be needing any monitoring. They'll decide. You keep yourself stress free. I know 14 days being alone in the room, you'll feel lonely, you'll feel depressed, you'll not like anything to do anything. So that is normal. But what I'm telling you is talk to your relatives, talk to your friends, talk to your long lost friends through video call, through call. Develop a hobby which you can do inside your room. Okay, listen to your favorite music, or you listen to like see movies. Spend some time with that, and do whatever you like to do through your phone or through the gadgets. It's a technology world now. So no one is literally alone. Everyone can be connected even though they are miles apart. I can talk to my friend in New Zealand just by on my phone. So there's nothing to get depressed. Please have a positive attitude, maintain calm, don't get panicked, and stop listening to the news. The news is such a stress full event. They'll all tell all kinds of things because they don't know. They're not doctors. Always check calm, always be calm. Okay, that is very important. So now, are you able to hear me? Is everyone able to hear me? Please thumbs up if you're able to hear me. Yeah, okay. So as I was talking, mental health is very important. Please, there's no substitute. I'm again and again telling you, stop seeing the news, stop seeing whoever's telling you to be afraid. Please don't be afraid. Go about your daily routine. There's nothing to be afraid, because 70% of the cases are asymptomatic or mild cases. Only the other 30 go on for severe disease. 70% are mild or asymptomatic. You will have the fever and then it will go off. But if you take stress, if you're in tension, if you panic, if your blood sugar rises, if your blood pressure rises, then you'll get complications. So don't take stress, talk to your doctor. If all these reasons, if all these methods fail, then go to your doctor. He will reassure you, he'll reaffirm you that there's nothing wrong with you. You can continue to be home isolated and you'll feel fine. Always talk to your doctor, anything. And please never have such thoughts, negative thoughts come into your mind that I'm now infected with corona. I'll also infect my family. I'm the reason for everything. It's the end of the world for me. No, please don't think that. Many people in my hospital are so depressed they're not even able to eat. Please don't think like that. You'll be fine. There's no stigma associated with the disease. You'll be fine in a matter of 2 weeks. Okay. So please don't take stress. Now, other question is, how can I boost my immunity for normal person? Those are not infected. How should I boost my immunity? What should I eat and what should I take in? So first thing is, what should you eat? You can eat green leafy vegetables. You can eat a lot of fruits. Okay, they're perfectly healthy. Okay, avoid junk foods. Avoid getting foods from outside because you don't know who's preparing them, who's delivering them. Please avoid Swiggy, Zomato. We are getting a lot of cases from these places where they have got food from outside. Please avoid getting food from outside. Processed foods, junk foods should be avoided totally. Don't drink carbonated drinks, Pepsi, Fanta, Mirinda. Please avoid that. That will decrease your immunity. And energy drinks like Red Bull, please avoid them for life. They're not at all recommended. Please don't drink them at all in your life. Energy drinks are not at all recommended. So second thing is, hydrate yourself. Drink adequate amount of water. Okay, make yourself sure that you're hydrated enough. And because water is a very important part of the body itself, 70% of your body is water. So adequate hydration is needed. And then you should get at least 7 hours of sleep, adequate sleep, 7 hours, because that will boost your immunity, make you feel fresh, and it will make wonders for you in your work life. So 7 hours of sleep is needed. Then if you're overweight, please reduce your weight. Exercise for at least half an hour for 5 times a week. Okay, at least for half an hour. So that way you can lose your weight and you can stay fit. do yoga, do meditation. These two can bring down your stress levels. If you're stressed, if you're constantly thinking, if your BP is high, do yoga. That will bring down your stress levels. Another thing, avoid smoking, avoid alcohol, avoid gutka, avoid pan masala, avoid chewing tobacco. These 5 things will decrease your immunity, will cause heart attacks, will bring a lot of disease. If not corona disease, 10 years to 15 years down the lane, you'll get some disease or the other because of this. If you still continue to drink or smoke or chew gutka or pan masala or chewing tobacco, please stop right now. It's for your family, it's for yourself. If you want to remain healthy, if you want to boost your immunity, please stop it. Okay. So I'm sharing a link with you. If anyone for matter that couldn't attend this meeting or couldn't attend this my talk, this link contains everything I have told you right now. Okay. So this is a link here. This is my video over here. I hope everyone has got the link. I'll share it again afterwards through chat. So I have explained everything in the video. Please see the video if you have any doubts, and you can also share to your family members and friends who have any doubts. What all I have explained here is there in the video. You can always see that. Go back and see. And make sure of 2 things. Don't stress out yourself. Maintain hygiene, hand washing, mask. Okay, and always trust your doctor. So now I actually I hope I have made a difference through this talk. The information you had before this talk and now the information you have after this talk, I hope there's a difference and you see coronavirus to a different perspective. I thank Shri Gyanchandji Kothari for giving me this opportunity to educate yourself, and I hope I can through this method we can bring down the cases in Chennai, and I hope Chennai recovers soon and we can flatten the curve. Okay, and so be safe, take care, and Jai Hind. That's it from me.
Okay, so doctor, do you have time for us for some questions and answers interaction?
Yes, I'll be happy to answer them. I'll be happy.
Yeah. So anybody has the questions can type it in the chat or can raise the hands here. You can use the options of raising the hand. I will begin with me. Doctor, I want to ask something like, okay, like everybody, I'm also scared, and every day we are also having a betadine goggle and then saltwater goggle, and then taking haldi with the water, and having a little bit bulgum coming out of every time when you throw your thing out. So tell me that haldi is good in this case. Can it be used or not?
Yeah, turmeric is a like a old age remedy. So turmeric is always good for your health. You can use haldi in your milk, or you can always take in haldi. It's a method of boosting your immunity.
No, if somebody has a renal issue,
yeah,
they take the haldi.
If your doctor has told you to avoid it, please avoid it. If not, I don't find anything harm in using turmeric.
Okay, so that was one thing. So betadine goggle is a good doctor, like a salt. How many times do you this goggle can be done in a day?
The problem with betadine gargle is that someone should show you how to use it, because if by chance the betadine goes into your stomach, it's not good for the stomach. Okay, it's not good for ingesting it. So you should use a correct way of doing betadine gargle. Okay, suppose if you're not able to use betadine gargle properly, always salt water is always better option for small people or for aged people or for children that is less than 10 years. Salt water gargle is proper. Actually, in children, you should not gargle because they might tend to drink it. Anyhow, above for people, aged people, it's always better to go for salt water gargling. And if the symptoms are very severe, you can go for betadine gargle. Salt water will have similar effects.
How many times can it be recommended to have? Is it any number
you can
of
take
times?
Early morning. No, you can take early morning as soon as you get up. If you have any irritation on your throat, you can take thrice a day. Once in every 8 hours, you can salt water gargle.
Anything.
Do it with warm.
Anything like, nowadays everybody's recommending take the Zincovit and take the vitamin E tablets and take this all for immunity, doctor, or is it a common thing to take the Zincovit and all those things? Is it a definitely you will tell not to take without the doctor's prescription, but when you go to these medical stores, they are like, on the shelf they are giving, okay, you can take Zincovit, is nothing wrong in taking Zincovit, or you can take the Selene, vitamin D, you take a Evion for the vitamin E. So like, this common things which everybody has formed their kind of a protocol kind of thing, that they are started taking this kind of medicine, Dola 650, if you get like, if you have a little fever or something. But instead of they going on a first visit, they always try to get this medicine. So is it recommended or it is not recommended?
So first I'll tell you, sir, don't self-medicate. Okay, don't take any medicines without doctor's prescription. That's the first point. Without your doctor's advice, please don't take any medicines. Second point, anything in excess is harmful for your body. Even if you drink a lot of water, 6 to 7 liters of water, you will have harm. So anything in excess for that matter is harmful to your body. So the problem with the supplements is that if someone takes that in excess, that can be harmful to your body instead of doing good. Normal person with no symptoms of coronavirus and they're normal and healthy did not take any vitamin supplements. Please listen to this very carefully. They did not take any vitamin supplements. They can eat healthy. They can eat foods rich in vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C. So they can take in foods through that, because your body needs a very small amount only. And if you don't, and that will be sufficient through your food items. The thing is, when you are starting to show symptoms, and if the symptoms are kind of severe, then you can take tablets like Zincovit and vitamin C, but not without your doctor's prescription, because there are certain conditions where you shouldn't take that also. If your doctor advises them to take it, then do take it. If not, don't self-medicate yourself. Don't listen to your pharmacist. He's not a doctor. He's not learned for 10 years and he's in the hospital. Your pharmacist will always give you the wrong advice. Don't take anything without your doctor's advice.
Doctor, there is one question from our teacher that once he tested negative, when is her next test he has to be done to check whether she can be a positive again?
Yeah, that is what, sir. So the thing is, in Tamil Nadu, as of now, we are not doing any retesting. Once you're positive, you'll be, if your condition is bad, you'll be kept in the hospital. If your condition is good, you'll be kept at home. What you have to do is, from the onset of symptoms, like first day of fever or whatever symptoms you have, till the next 14 days, you have to isolate yourself. And then without even testing can come out, because you're supposed to be assumed to be negative. But when you should retest yourself is that when you have again developing symptoms, or your symptoms are throughout, it's not even going. You have constant fever, you have constant cough, and your symptoms are not coming down, and you still have all the symptoms. Then based upon your doctor's advice, you'll have to go for retesting. As of now, if you don't have any symptoms, wait for 14 days, and it has wait for 14 days, and it will the symptoms will settle by itself, and you won't have to have any retesting done. Yes, sir.
One more thing I would like to know. You have said about the loose motions. Okay. So
Yes.
this loose motions is a normal. It can happen with any acidity in the stomach or anything. So how do you differentiate? Like, this is a time now for you to become serious at this kind of loose motions.
So the thing is, as I've already said, there's no specific symptoms of coronavirus. Because if you get cough or cold, it can be a simple viral infection, it can be migraine, it can be allergies, or it can be sinusitis. Anything it can be. It doesn't necessarily mean you're having coronavirus. So that is why I first tell my patients not to get tensed, not to stress themselves up. It might even be a normal infection. The same thing goes with loose motions. Yes, it is a symptom of COVID-19, but we won't know for sure whether it's due to COVID-19 or whether it's due to your food poisoning. It's not, we cannot differentiate it. I have told you the 4 warning signs: temperature more than 102, breathing difficulty, saturation of less than 94 saturation, and if the person is constantly sleeping or drowsy throughout the day. And these are the 4 main thing. Most importantly is the breathing difficulty. If you have any one among these 4, that's the time you need to go to the hospital and check yourself out.
So along with these 4 conditions, if this condition also include like a loose motions or something like this,
Yeah.
so then you
Yeah.
have to become little bit.
No, even if this condition is not there, if these 4 are there, please go to the hospital.
Please go to the hospital. Then I'm
Yeah.
seeing one. Is the body pain is a symptom of COVID?
Yes, it is.
So can he take the body pain killer to try it out first, or he straight away has to go and show it to the doctor?
No, body pain doesn't require you to go to see a doctor. Body pain can be due to various reasons. It can be due to low hemoglobin, or it can be due to working excessively, or it can be due to various other reasons. If you have a body pain, you can take over-the-counter painkillers like Dolo 650 you can take. You can take it once or twice and see for a day whether your body pain is going on or not. If you have extremely severe body pain, which is limiting your activity, such pain that you are not even able to raise your hand, then you need to go to see a doctor. If not, it will settle by itself. And if the pain is very moderate to severe, you can take a Dolo 650, one tablet you can take, and you can see whether it's working out for you.
Doctor, main questions from this housewives: when they buy the vegetables, when the milk packet comes every day in the morning, so what kind of precautions they are supposed to take? How are the best way to be safe that they can consume these items?
So regarding milk packets and everything, whatever it's coming from outside from a packet, please wash them nicely with the water. Don't have to be soap and everything, because that might contaminate the food items. Wash them nicely with soap and water. Anyhow, when we are heating milk, when we are heating the subjis, like when you're heating the curry, vegetables and everything, the virus will die. Okay, so you don't worry about the virus being in the vegetables or virus being in the milk. Once you heat the milk, once you cook the vegetables, the virus will automatically die, and you need not do anything else. Make sure after touching the milk packet and after touching the vegetables you have got from outside, make sure you wash your hands properly. That's the main thing.
Do we need to wear the mask while we are walking in the morning, or when we walk in the evening?
Yes, sir. Very valid question. The thing is, you need not wear a mask always. When you're sleeping, you need not wear a mask. When you're alone in the room with nobody around you, you need not wear a mask. And when nobody is infected, when no one is showing symptoms of COVID-19 like cough, cold, sneezing around you, you need not wear a mask. But you should always wear a mask when you go outside. It's always better, because you won't know whether the other person is having a cough or a cold. And anytime he can cough at you, anytime he can sneeze at you, you won't be prepared for that. Right? So anytime you step out of the house, please wear a mask. Inside the home, it's better, like when you're alone, you need not wear, or when no one is showing any symptoms, you need not wear. Otherwise, every time outside, you have to wear a mask.
Doctor, some question is that what kind of salt do we need to use for the gargle? It's a rock.
Normal salt.
Somebody says you should do it a rock salt or pink salt or white salt. It's a normal salt, right?
It's all marketing and branding. You can use a normal salt, whatever you use at home, in warm water and gargle.
Okay. And doctor, one more question is asymptomatic. That is like there is no symptom at all for anybody. Those are the dangerous cases, like, they will not even have any symptoms. And finally, only at the few days before they will have the breathing difficulty or something like that. In those kind of cases, when is the right time for anybody to go and approach the doctor or to the hospital?
So that is one more thing I want to talk to you about. Please don't overburden the hospital. We as doctors are very overburdened. We see thousands of cases coming into the hospital when they don't have symptoms. If you are asymptomatic, I know there's no other way, but if you're asymptomatic, and that means your virus is not showing its effects onto your body, if you think you have been in contact with the positive persons, and if you think you might have COVID, then it's better to quarantine yourself at home for 14 days. For asymptomatic cases, nothing has to be done. No need to go to the hospital, no need to visit a doctor, unless you develop some symptoms that warrants a doctor's advice. If you're asymptomatic and if you think you have COVID, still, if you think you might have COVID because you have been in contact with a COVID positive person, always isolate quarantine yourself for 14 days at home.
When you get back to your work after the lockdown, what are the precautions you need to take, doctor? This is from a working people. So what kind of precautions they need to take once they start going for their work again?
Yeah. So the lockdown, after the lockdown, if you start working, as far as possible, if you really need to go, you have to go. If not, always working from home will be better. If you need to go outside, better wear the mask. Okay, wear the mask and wash your hands frequently. Some might ask me whether gloves are important, whether should I buy any gloves and everything. See, gloves won't help much. Okay, washing hands will anyhow, because the thing is your skin is the most important protection you have. The virus cannot go from your skin into your blood. It cannot go. It's a protection. Your skin is protecting yourself. Okay, unless and until you bring your skin to your eyes, your nose, on your mouth, only then the virus can go inside your body. When it's on your skin, it cannot go inside your body, and you have to kill the virus when it's on your skin always. So that is why you have to wash your hands. Okay, wash your hands frequently, and every time before you planning to touch your eyes, nose and mouth, wash your hands. The second thing is, after you come back from work, it's better you take a bath, because the virus might be lingering onto your clothes or your hair or anywhere around the body. Once you have a bath, the virus goes off. So after coming from work, have a bath and then wear a mask. Social distance yourself. Make sure the person you're talking to is wearing a mask. If the other person is not wearing a mask, please request them, please wear a mask and talk to me. Okay, so don't talk to a person if they're not wearing a mask. Please don't talk to that person, or maintain a more than 2 meters distance. Ideal distance is 2 meters. I'll repeat again, ideal distance is 2 meters, but if that's not possible, at least 1 meter you have to maintain at all times. So these are some of the preventive measures you can take when you're working outside.
Doctor, few one are asking, they are not very well to do to pay and get it test their COVID by going to the private labs. So what is the procedure for them to approach the government hospitals? Do they need to come directly, or do they need to come via somebody, like, they have to come and test you and then they will say, okay, you can go for a test or not?
So yes, sir. So as of now, Tamil Nadu government is not testing for asymptomatic cases. So if you don't have any symptoms, you need not get tested. There's no need of getting tested. If you feel you want to get tested, you can approach every government hospital: Stanley, Rajiv Gandhi, Omandarur and Kilpauk and Chengalpet. These are the 5 hospitals in and around Chennai where you can ask the doctor there if you need a testing done. If there's an indication, if they feel you need to be, if not, just follow the advice.
Doctor, this few of them are taking Ayurvedic Kada and a lot of other things that has been, one day Dr. Baba Ramdev has come and started his medicine. So a few of them are just taking to prevent them from getting this fever. They started already self-medication. So is it necessary for them to get precautions or anything before getting this COVID? What kind of precautions do they need, or do they need to take some kind of medicines?
So first of all, again, I'll tell you the importance of not self-medicating yourself. Though it may be Ayurvedic, though it may be allopathy, anything for that matter, don't self-medicate. Don't take medicines without your doctor's advice. Ayurveda, I cannot comment on it because I'm not an Ayurvedic doctor, I'm an allopathy doctor. So I don't recommend, generally I don't recommend my patients to take any Ayurvedic medications or any Kada or anything, whatever for that matter. And even the Kada, sometimes I have patients coming with gastritis, that is stomach pain with gas, by taking that Kada. If you are comfortable taking that Kada, you can continue. If you feel that you're not comfortable or it doesn't help you, then you can stop it. The main thing is eat healthy. Eat healthy, which contains a lot of natural vitamins, rather than by taking self-medications and vitamin supplements that won't do any good. Eat healthy and that will make a difference. So that's the.
Doctor, what is the particular good vegetable and fruits which will be useful in this case?
Any fruits and any vegetables, sir. All the green leafy vegetables contains vitamin D, okay, vitamin K. So all fruits and everything for that matter, vitamin, all green leafy vegetables, fruits you can take. You can eat all healthy things, rice, pulses, cereals, everything.
Can we get the COVID by eating the fruits? Like somebody is saying, somebody has touched those fruits, so please don't eat that. Can possibility of getting the COVID because of eating the fruits touched by somebody else?
Yeah, there's a possibility, because I already said that infected objects can transmit the infection. What you need to do is, when you get your fruits inside your home, wash it properly. It doesn't mean that you have to wash it with soap water only. Wash it nicely and then you can eat it. Make sure you wash it nicely.
Question. Anybody else has the questions, please take it, because doctor is very busy. One question is that we collecting the cash sitting in the business people by touching somebody else's hands or something like that. So do we need to touch those rupees, or do we, is it advisable to touch those money and keep it in your pocket? What is the thing? You should come home and wash your hands and keep it separately, those cash or something like that, doctor?
See, the thing is with money is like, as I already told you, there's a possibility of transmission. But once you collect the cash and everything, you won't get infected, because through your skin, you cannot get COVID. So the skin is a protection barrier. Once you get the money, keep it in your purse, and then whenever you're planning to touch your face, please wash your hands. That is why I'm stressing upon the importance of washing hands, because we are a cash-based economy. India is a cash-based economy for most of the part. So we cannot totally avoid cash. That is practically very difficult. If you can, maximum you can try to go for online transactions. But if cash is there, that's no harm in taking it. It's just that you have to wash your hands nicely and regularly at frequent intervals before touching your face.
Done a lot of good interaction with the doctor. Is there anybody else has any important questions to ask? Okay, there is one that doctor, once you are affected with a COVID positive, your body is become normal, or will you be having some or other once you become again a negative? So what is the loss of your body is going to bear it? Like, you know, in a future run, it will be you will become all right, or there will be some or other problem will be there inside your body?
Before answering that, for all the participants, I've shared you the link of a video that contains similar what all I've talked now. And if at all you have to show your family members or any other person who has missed this meeting for various reasons, you can show this video, and it contains everything that a common man needs to know. And answering your question, sir, the thing is, after COVID-19, if you're a healthy person, you'll recover. If not, if you're an aged person or something like that, there will be some some reduction in lung function that you can overcome by doing this breathing exercise. I told you, right, to do this breathing exercises, that you can continue for a month or so until you feel better. And for any disease, it will take some time for the body to fully recover. And we don't know whether we can the lung function will fully recover 100%, but yes, it will recover to the maximum extent.
There is one question from our student, sir. In the ads like Domino, they show that while giving, they will sanitize their hand and deliver it. So is it safe for us to take the food from outside, or is it not safe? And
no, so it's not safe.
One more, doctor, one more. How long do you expect the COVID-19 medicines is going to come in the market?
So answering to your previous question, Swiggy, Zomato, Dunzo, nothing is safe. Please don't opt for these services. Go to the market, buy vegetables, fresh vegetables yourself, and have home-based food. Problem is Domino's, as I told you, it's a junk food. Okay, it's a junk food. It is a processed food, and it's not at all recommended. So don't eat all these foods. It's better to avoid from Domino's. And for any other places outside. And answering to your second question, as of now, it's a viral infection. for any virus, there's no drug has on, like viruses are generally come infect us and will go on its own depending upon your immunity. It's not a bacteria. So that's the main difference between a virus and bacteria. For bacteria, we can have antibacterial agents, but for virus, it's very difficult to get to produce an antiviral agent which is very effective. So the only thing is that you can boost your immunity. You can be taking precautions. And regarding the drugs, it's coming in the market such as Fabiflu, Remdesivir, hydroxychloroquine. Please don't hoard up these drugs. These are of no use outside. Okay, only trials are going on. Only experimentation is going on. So by taking these drugs, don't be a guinea pig. Don't test upon yourselves the drugs which have not even been approved. So don't take as a hydroxy.